Good. So let's start standing. Should still be music on, but we'll do some more prescribed movements now. And start with your foot. Lift one foot and just roll it over so you're stretching the top of your toes. And roll all the way down the foot. Out and stretch all of those toes. And then roll your foot around, roll your ankle around. Go both directions. And then switch to your other foot. Ow, ow, sometimes I get a cramp when I do this. Stretching the top of your foot and stretching each toe knuckle. Go both directions. Down to your baby toe, up to your big toe. Till you're ready to go around in a circle. And then come on both your feet flat. And just go ahead and stand on your, raise your heels and stand on your tiptoes and see if you can do it without gripping, which means relaxing your knees so there's flexibility for the wavering of your balance, and then you can counterbalance. And then stretch it deep. Come down with your hands and stretch that those feet arches by coming even higher up into your toes. Really putting your weight forward and into them. And then stretch your heels back down behind you. And lift up your toes so you stretch your Achilles. Drop your head. Relax. Everything but those Achilles tendons and maybe a little hamstring. Place your feet flat on the floor and see how that feels in your system. Roll yourself gently up. Come onto the side. I can't get this to adjust well, but come to the side of one foot. Roll over and lean your weight over in that direction. Feel it outside of your leg. And then to the other foot. Roll out to the side. Lean your hip towards it. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Come back to the center. Just lift those toes up. Feel your heels, 2 points of the heels. Feel the ball of your foot. The point by your baby toe. So there's 4 points on your feet where you feel an arch. And let those toes down and see if you can maintain that arch. And relax your knees a little.
Aylee, it's hard to hear you over the music. I might be good to turn it down just a little more.
I'll stay closer. I'll turn the music down too a little.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, so you've got the 4 points of your feet and your toes were up, and now you're just going to let your toes go down and relax your knees and see if you can still feel like the arch in your foot. And then let's bend into the knees and circle your knees around. Circle them one way. Be careful if you have knee injuries. And then circle the other way. And then go back the first way again. And then the second way. Good. And then stand up straight. Let's What's happening here? And then just shrug your shoulders up to your ears, as high as you can get them. Almost like you're hanging on a hook, a coat hook. Only your body's attached to that coat. And then just let that down. And this time, bring your shoulders forward. Tuck your head, relax your knees. And then bring your shoulders up. And then bring them back and down. Circle them a few times. Try and get a really thorough circle out of that. And once you get to the bottom the next time, reverse your circle. So you're going back, up, forward, down. Check those knees again. You don't need any tension there. And the next time you go down and back, bring your heart up a little. You can clasp your hands behind you. Bend those knees. Open your heart by lifting your arms just a little bit away from your butt. Leave your neck where it is. Bend your knees a little bit more and make a beautiful bow, like a bow and arrow, except for your neck. And gently come up and hug yourself. So you're wrapping your hands around. Maybe they'll reach to your scapula in the back and you can hook your fingers in there. Bring your neck forward, bend your knees. Look down. And then just drop your arms and keep your head and shoulders looking down. And slowly, one vertebrae at a time, let your weight and your gravity allow that upper body to come closer and closer to the ground. Feel it in the different areas of your back. Relax your knees and your legs and feel your feet. Come down, 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 down. Approaching the floor. And before you hit the floor, before your hands hit the floor, just hang there for a moment. Feel the blood fill your head. And as your hands find the floor, use them for some balance in front of you. Gently lift up your heels. Feet pointing forward, legs straight down from your hip. Feel some shake. Allow that shake. Surrender into it. Put the heels back down. And come and rest your arms on your knees. And just take a few moments here. Let the charge build. Feel the strength in your legs. Relax your neck. And come forward again. Pick up one leg. And circle, make circles with your knee in the air. Go both directions. And switch legs. Make circles with your knee in the air. See if you can get all around that thigh joint.
And then while you have that leg up, just kick it behind you a little. Release some of that charge. On the other side. Doesn't have to go too far. Put your both those feet on the ground. Tuck your head in. Wrap your arms around your knees. And gently find your way up.
See what it feels like in your stance now. Maybe a little shaky. Maybe your breath is open. Move your wrists around. And move your elbows. Go in all directions. Bend those knees a little. And bring the shoulders in. See if you can feel it in your intercostal. See if you can feel a change in your windpipe. Even feel how the movement can move the air through and in your windpipe. And stretch your arms behind you and reach back. Check your neck. Keep it really between your shoulders. Reach up and reach back if it feels good for your back. Bare your belly. Bring those arms all the way around. And just make gigantic circles with your arms. Bend in your knee. And maybe do what Leah did yesterday. Do those figure eights, or somebody did. I don't remember. Do the figure eights with your arms. It's great. And while you're doing that, just warm up your hips a little bit. Feel the movement of your hip. Counterbalancing your arms. And then slow it down a little. Let's see if we can do a small bow. Hands into your sacrum. Feet coming straight out from your hips, pointing forward. Bend your knees a little. Relax your head and neck. And leave it right where it is. Gently bring your pelvis forward. And let your heart open by bringing your shoulders back just as much as you need to find a little vibration. To find some shape there. Come back and release your low back. Keep her down so you can hear me. And come back to a standing place. And then let's do the thing I should have worried about today. My pants are falling down. So again, feet forward, straight out from your hips. And again, like you're going to sit back into a chair. Scoot that pelvis forward gently. Do it with your perineum, not with your legs. Let your upper body counterbalance. So your heart is open. And on the out breath, again, bring your pelvis behind you. As though you're sitting in a chair, let your whole upper body counterbalance. So your upper body just follows. You don't have to hold it or direct it. And just through making little air circles with your perineum, vertical air circles or ovals. Let yourself lubricate your spine, articulate each vertebrae. You can explore if you want to go slower or faster or bigger or smaller. Just make sure the upper body is not controlling, it's just following. It's just helping you keep balance. And maybe make it smaller and smaller and smaller. And maybe there's a time or a place where you feel the vibration. And if so, just open to it into a little bit bigger of a bow, cactus arm bow. Make sure your neck is not taking any of it. Your neck is totally free, your jaw is free. And come up again and do what you need to do to release your back. And now let's just play with the mouth. Opening it, blah, making a little sound, blah, sticking your tongue out, wiggling your nose. Make sure your knees are relaxed, blah, 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 blah. You can tighten it, you can pucker it, make a whole bunch of faces. Blah, 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 blah. Open your jaw really wide. Close it a little bit. Maybe make a gigantic frown. Then bring your eyes into circles. Letting it go in your mouth. And then just make squiggly lines with your eyes, just really stretching those eye muscles. They work so hard all day long. Back and forth, zigzag, circle, all the things. You could even let your eyes dance to the music. Oh, let that go. You can rub your hands together, and this will be nicer for people who don't have glasses on. But just cup your eyes and relax into it. And while you're there, notice where else you have tension in your body. How are you holding from your feet to your ankles, to your thighs, your knees, your glutes. Your belly free. Let the cupping go and drop your head straight down. And then let it go another inch, adding your shoulders. Bend your knees and just feel that gravity stretch that atlas area, the top of your thoracic spine. And then bring your head so that your right ear is by your right shoulder. And the other direction, left ear to left shoulder, going fully in a semicircle, down towards your chest on the way. And if it's good for your body, you can bring your head in a total circle. If you have a lot of neck tension, that's not going to be a good idea. And it may be different than it was yesterday, so make sure you're checking today through presence, in contact with yourself. And let's do a little edu, swinging your arms around and getting some spiral motion in your spinal cord. Edu was something that was created by, I think, the owner of Brighton Bush Hot Springs. And every day, every morning, they had edu classes where they would do this with lots of hand variations and stuff for 45 minutes. And the point is to be lubricating and articulating your vertebrae and your spinal cord. It's a huge factor in aging, healthy aging. Good. Slow it down just gradually. Slow it down till it's an internal feeling, internal motion. And now stick your butt back behind you. You can lean forward. And then take it to one side. Take it to the other side. Go back and forth a little. And see if you can find some fluidity in it. And make sure it's not just your upper body that's moving, but the focus is really on your hips. Swaying from one side to the other. And then maybe spiral your hips up so it begins to come towards the front. And stay there for a moment, letting your shoulders just rest back behind you. And your heart open, and then continue that spiral. So now, letting your upper body counterbalance, make big spirals with your hips around. And I have to be a little bit careful because I have some sacrum issues. But make sure you're initiating this movement with your hips so that your hips are drawing a beautiful big circle all the way around. And mine's going to be a little oval because I can't go too far to one side without causing harm. And go both directions. Big, beautiful circles. To the side, to the back, to the other side. Make sure it's your hips because a lot of people keep their hips and their shoulders on one plane, and they do this with their shoulders and they aren't really articulating that hip joint. And then maybe come a little more upright and make that circle a little smaller one way. And go the other way. Notice how the balance changes from one foot to the next. And then just kind of play with that. Maybe you want to do some figure eights. And if you don't have a hide self view on, see that it's really your hips that are moving and not your shoulders. You can also explore bringing them up and down on each side. Try reversing whatever direction you're going in. And then maybe just start shaking it. And just shake it up a little. See if you can find an impulse from this middle part of your body. And you can move around the room a little. But make your movements come from your hips. Let your butt roll around a little. See if you can feel some pleasure in it. And actually, maybe before we get to the pleasure, we need to get to the pain. So just bring your pelvis forward in a moment of power and come back behind you, sink into your butt, stick your butt out, and then bring that pelvis forward. Ha! Try it out a little until you really can find like the fuck you. Fuck you, or whatever else might be in there. Like, take that. Or, ha! 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 And make sure again that all of your movement is coming from your pelvis. Ha! 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 Yeah, put your hand on your pelvis and feel the movement initiated from there. Ha! 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 And try it sideways. Ha! Ha! And make some sound. Ha! 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 Go all the different directions. Ha! 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 Get close to your screen and find somebody that you can make some eye contact with and let them have it. Ha! 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 Maybe there's words that come with it. Either fuck you, or take that, or my way.
My way.
My way.
My way.
Mine. Give it to me.
Mine.
Ha!
My
Ha!
way.
Good. Make that contact with them.
My way.
Let them know.
My way. My way.
Business.
My
From
way.
your being, from the
Mine.
your heft, from your weight. Pull your weight.
Mine.
Ha! 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 And make sure your legs aren't too far apart. Ha! 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 Good.
Thank you.
And when you're ready, just feel the results of that. And then see about moving your pelvis in a way that might be pleasurable for you.
Africanos en las pampas argentinas. Toques y llamadas de tambores.
See if you can dance and move from that center point of your body. And play with the interplay between your pelvis and your chest, your pelvis and your heart.
La
See
payada
which one
milonguera,
leads when.
el fantasma de la indiada. China se va con mate. Tango.
Maybe just sashaying around the room. Try not to just go into an old way of being and moving. Try to make sure you
Marineros,
have interplay between your heart and your pelvis.
inmigrantes,
Between your upper body and your lower body.
habanera, canzoneta de los tanos, piano, piano,
Notice what feels
nacionalidad.
good. What feels aggressive for you, and play with that. What feels
Nació
scary,
el baile, compadrito y
and feel
orillero,
those feelings.
guapo, futurista y nostalgioso. Mestizaje de europeos, negros, indios. En el Río de la Plata hace mucho, no se sabe justo cuándo. Un buen día nació el tango. And take that rhythm and feel like you're bouncing a ball around you. Boom. Oh, the rhythm stopped. We'll keep bouncing the ball. Bounce a ball. Like there's a little ball that you're keeping in motion all around you. The energy of life. And then maybe sometimes it starts bouncing higher and higher and higher. Turn off that music right now. Keep going. Bounce the ball higher and higher and higher. And sometimes it goes lower. And just see what you can do to keep it in the air all the time. To keep it in play. All the things we do in life. And then maybe come up and come close to the screen and make contact with somebody else who's also bouncing their balls, keeping all their balls in the air. And then maybe you want to interact with them, so give them a chance. And maybe when you see one coming at you, if you want to take it, grab it. And see if you want to give one back to them. And just feel that interchange of life that we have with people. Make sure there's someone you're making contact with, or are you just like randomly throwing it out there, hoping someone catches it. What might happen is when it comes back to you, you won't know where it came from or what the connection is. So see each other. See what you can give. Maybe you start wanting more and you let your own balls go and you're just like busy catching someone else's. Uh-oh, that's not very stable. You might end up crashing and having to start your own game all over again. That can be pretty dysregulating. So again, bouncing yours, seeing where you want to connect, where you want to receive, where you want to give. Try giving with both different hands at different times and receiving with different hands. See how it feels to be in the game of life with another, with a whole group where maybe you can switch partners around too. What is that like? How do you keep your balls going while you're receiving, while you're giving? Let yourself play that game a little. Feel the energy. And then come back and see what is the state and the condition of your own bouncing balls in your own life. And see how it feels to just come back in that space and slow it down a little. Slow it down until you drop your hands, but you still feel the pulsation from your toes to the tip of your head. See if somehow that can turn into a shake so it's involuntary. And there's just life force moving through, meeting your muscles, expanding your capacity for flow in and through your own being. And let that get somehow smaller and smaller without losing contact with the vibration, with the life force. So that maybe it looks like you're standing still, but you're still in contact with that constant vibration, that constant expansion and contraction, that constant pulsation that actually means you're alive as a human being on this planet. What a gift. Feel your breath. Maybe take a deep breath in and then in segments go out. So the top of your chest and then down from your mid chest and then your high belly. And when it's ready, just breathe in again and then out, 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 out. And just wait until it's ready. And let it get gentler and gentler. Out, 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 out. Until you just feel your breath breathing you gently in and gently out. And drop to those knees. come to the floor on your knees. And find your way to your back. And get comfortable. Take some time to see what you need. You'll be there for a few. And take a moment and it's probably best to do this with your knees up and your feet on the floor. And go ahead and do a Kegel. So basically feel like you need to urinate and tighten your pelvic floor. Stop your urination and hold that for a moment. And then let it go. And do it a few more times. Draw that pelvic floor up as though you had to pee and stop it. And let it go. And again, tighten your urethra and release. And one more time. Draw it in. Hold for a moment with the least amount of effort you can exert and still using it effectively. And then let it go. And then just really let it go. Let it all go. And next, imagine you need to take a bowel movement, but it's not the right time. So tighten your anus and hold. Hold, hold, hold. Squeeze it in. And then relax it. And repeat. Squeeze in your anus. See if your belly can be relaxed, your perineum can be relaxed, your thighs can be relaxed, and just squeezing your anus, just stopping. It's not time to go to the bathroom, just feel that. And see what other muscles you engage and how much you can relax them while you just isolate your anus. Squeezing and letting go. Take a nice breath when you let go. And then squeeze it again. Hold for a moment. Observe. Relax everywhere else. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Again, draw your anus up. Hold for a moment. And this time, really let it go. See how you can shake it out a little. Now see how you can tighten your glutes, right? So tighten the muscles that encompass your bottom. Tighten your gluteus maximus. See if you can leave your pelvic floor, leave your anus, and just tighten your glutes. Leave your neck, leave your shoulders, tighten those glutes. Ugh, let them go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. And once again, tighten your glutes. See what else you're engaging, not intentionally. And let it go. And a few more times. Squeeze those glutes. Squeeze your butt. Tighten your butt muscles. Activate your butt muscles. And then set them free again. 3 more times. Strengthen. Activate. Just your glutes. See if you started engaging again your anus or your perineum or your belly or anything else. Try and just let it come from your glutes. And let it go. And just 2 more times on your own time. Finishing the first one and going to the second. And when you're ready, completely let that go. And the next thing we're going to isolate is the diaphragm. So see how you can perceive your diaphragm right up under the lower part of your ribs. See if you can tighten your diaphragm, contract it, and leave your pelvic floor, leave your anus, leave your glutes out of it. Some degree or another. Squeeze that diaphragm. And release it. And when you release it, you should automatically feel it fill with breath. And then you can tighten it again. Hold it for a moment. Be glad you're not focusing on the lower ones. And then let it go. Fill. Contract that diaphragm. Hold. See how much you can release everything else. And then let go, let go, let go, let go, let go, let go. And a few more times. Strengthening that diaphragm by isolating and focusing on it, strengthening both the capacity for it to contract fully, and sometimes when we contract something, then we have a deeper capacity to let go and to release. So many of us need deeper release in our diaphragm. So feel that tension, feel it, feel it, feel it, squeeze it in. And then let the air just fill it. It's the automatic thing that happens when our diaphragm releases. We can breathe more. So a tight diaphragm cuts us off from life. Breath is life. One more time. Contracting that diaphragm. And then let it go again. This time really letting go fully and completely. Just see what emotions, what has come up through all of this. And one more area to isolate. See how you can isolate your lower abdomen. So not your diaphragm, not your pelvic floor, but your lower belly. Those nice muscles between your belly button and the top of your pelvic bone. See if you can contract them. See what else comes along with it. See how you can really isolate the lower abdomen. And then when you're ready, let that fill with breath as well as it gives way. And tighten again your lower belly. So many of us are conditioned to keep this tight all the time by contracting it deeply. See how that can support you in letting it go more deeply as well. And what comes up for you as you do this? Tightening, deepening, holding the contraction in your low belly, and then completely freeing that up. And notice if your perineum comes with it, if your pelvic floor comes with it, and you're used to always having a contraction in your low belly, and then you're also used to always having a contraction in your perineum. Feel how little flow that leaves, how little room there is for pleasure. Let it all go. And this time, really see if you can just isolate that low belly. There's no worry of needing to pee, so you don't need to use those muscles right now. Contracting and releasing your lower abdomen. Three more times. And then we'll go around one more time and just observe what comes up for you on the 5 levels. What emotions, what thoughts. First, engaging your perineum. Do what we call a Kegel, basically pulling up that pelvic floor, stopping your urine, your urge to urinate. holding it, and letting it go. Taking a breath in between, relaxing as deeply as you can, and seeing if you can really just isolate that one area, tightening your pelvic floor, holding it. And then letting it all go. Letting that deep breath come all the way from the top of your chest into your low belly. And then breathe in, and then again contract your pelvic floor. Create your Kegel. Hold for a moment. And let it all out with your breath. And 2 more on your own time. Let one of them be a good, strong, lengthy hold. To the degree that you can do it, isolating as few muscles as possible. Really focusing on that one area. And then free that up. And move to the anus. Wink your anus by bringing in the muscles around it. Holding tightly for just a moment. And gently letting it go. And then just recognize, what is your natural state? Is it that relaxed state, or is it more a continual retention in that anal area? And go ahead and squeeze it more deeply, more and more and more and more deeply. And see how that can help you when it's time to just let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Maybe there's pleasurable feelings in the isolation of these muscles and the exploration. Again, tighten your anus. Free it up. Tighten it. And free it. 2 more times. Or one long hold. And then let it go fully and completely. And move on to your glutes. So tighten those butt muscles. Make yourself a nice rock hard butt. And as you let it go, let your air fill. Let your whole hip area relax. And then again, just tighten those butt muscles. And let them go. Tighten. Hold, hold, hold this time. Hold it a little bit longer and see what else you're holding. Just to increase your awareness for something you can work on in the future. And then let it all go. And do 2 more on your own rhythm. Contracting your glutes and seeing if that can help you release them even further. When you're ready to fully let go, just let it happen. Move to your diaphragm. So you can breathe out and just feel the natural movement of the diaphragm that is in contraction. And then with a deep in-breath, see how much you can just relax it and let go. And when you're ready, contract your diaphragm and see if you can just let the whole lower portion go, all the things we had already done. The pelvic floor, your glutes, your butt. Just free them and let this movement come only from your diaphragm. And once you let it go, let yourself have a breath in between. So you can feel maybe the more subtle movement of your diaphragm. But then when you're ready, really consciously activate, contract. Feel that ring around your rib area that sometimes when it's held for too long, too tightly, can really cut us off from our lower body and from our ground. And let it go fully and see if you can feel more aware of your lower body. And 3 more times. Play with contracting and releasing your diaphragm. And when you get to the 3rd one, hold it for just a little bit longer. And when you release it, release everything. And the last bit, see how you can isolate and tighten just simply your lower abdomen. Make a nice shield of muscles there. Let it go. Do it a few more times, experimenting with the length of time that you hold it, with the depth to which you can hold it, and the degree to which you can leave your other muscles out of it. Take a few minutes to explore that in your lower abdomen. recognize how familiar or unfamiliar it might be, and see just how much can you release it and release everything around it. Really let it all hang out, using the awareness of the contraction to also bring awareness to release and absence of tension. And again, activate that lower belly. See how much you can let go of everything. You might even have your back muscles tense, or your neck or your jaw. Release all of that while you continue to have an activated low belly. And free it up by letting it fill fully and completely with air. Let everything go and just kind of shake it out a little, make a little sound. Shake, shake, shake on your mat. Yeah. Let your belly jiggle, your butt jiggle. Feel freedom. Your neck a little. Tap your pelvis up and down a little with your feet on the floor and your knees up. Tap, 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 tap. And if you want to put your arms and your legs in the air and shake them a little and wiggle again, shake it all out. And just again articulate areas in the spine that we loosened up before. And if you want to, bring your knees to your chest or bring your hands to your feet and pull your knees down towards your armpit with your arms, whatever feels good. Yeah, good. Maybe take a minute and roll to your side. See if you would like to spend a moment on your belly. Feeling the contact of the earth, or if there's other moves that feel good for you, that's fine as well. And just see what's moving for you. And I'm going to stop the recording, but if you're listening to the recording, just take as much time as you'd like there before you come up. Maybe make some notes.